Being an awesome programmer does not absolve you from being a dick. I recently had a Reddit discussion with a developer of a relatively small open source program that is out there to aid content creators. It doesn't cost anything. It does a lot of things other programs don't do. It's got some cool stuff. It's been months since they've had any updates. There have been a couple small bugs, but overall the program is sound. It's just it's at that point where it does so much, and there's these little tiny tweaks. At least to some people, they're tiny. If you're a developer, that doesn't always equate to easy. But if these tweaks were implemented, this program would be probably much more popular than it is now. And this program has a subreddit. And on that subreddit, people are like, well, when's the update coming out? And here are these issues I'm having. And, these features would really make things better. And granted, people on Reddit do have a tendency to be a little bit whiny. But when the developer comes on and basically just rips apart the post, said, so all these things you're saying are wrong are now down to 2 things, and this and this and this and this, and I don't want to quote it. I'm not going to blacklist or witch hunt the developer or the Reddit, and I certainly don't want to promote the product. Believe me, if it was something that I use and I said I've used, I would turn around and change my tune on that program. But because I've never come out and said I advocate it, I don't feel the need to blacklist this program. It may be something that's for you. It is not for me. But the developer comes out and basically just tears apart the person in there. So I replied and I said, look, bud, I'm not going to be using your program. My exact words were, I am unlikely to use your program. But in reality, I'm not touching the fucking thing. Because he was a dick. I don't care if you're giving me a program for free. I don't care if you lent me $20. I don't care if you cooked me dinner. I don't care if you sucked my dick. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. Pure and simple. And I realize it's a very, very base way of looking at things. But there's no excuse to treat people with disrespect. There's none. Especially when you're in a position where you're creating something that if it does well, potentially could, you have now a consumer base. So because it happens all the time, open source, code developers do well. They go on to do other things where there is a profitability there, and people follow them because they respect the developer, they respect the programmer, and as a result, good things result, and everyone profits from it, whether it be we get a better program and they get to make a living. But this individual has pretty much proven that they just don't care about the community. They're making a program and make a program and fuck everybody. And if that's your deal, that's your deal. And I said that. It's your right to run your community and your software how you want when you don't charge for it, especially. Even if you do charge for it, that's still your right. I don't think it's smart. I think it's a bad move. But this also bleeds over into YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and Hitbox and anywhere else that you could have an audience of people that appreciate something you create. Okay? And I want to stress to you folks how important it is. If you're an up-and-coming creator, you're a blogger, you do videos, you do streams, you do music, anything, filmmaker, game designer, programmer, I don't care. If you create something that's going to be consumed by others, you have a responsibility to at least appreciate that someone likes what you do. Sure, there's going to be negative things that are said, and yes, you have to take those with a grain of salt. No pun intended. But ultimately, you have to appreciate that there are people who appreciate you. You don't have to like it, but respect it. And it does kind of go back to the old saying, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And besides, if there's something that's truly negative being said, honestly, sometimes the best thing to do is ignore it. You may want to warn someone on the first try, like, hey, I appreciate if you didn't talk like that. That's respectable. But beyond that, feeding the troll doesn't work. But when someone's trying to help, or they're really upset, they need help, don't lash out at them. Don't be a dick. There are videos I have that are 2 years old, going on 2 years old, I should say. And they're for troubleshooting errors that don't exist anymore. And people will comment asking me for help as though I'm a help desk guy. I'm not. I do technical support by trade, but I don't know a lot of these things as well as I could. But I try to help as best as I can, because I know that the reason they're at my video is because they tried to find it somewhere else in many cases, and they couldn't. So I try to help, and if all else fails, I try to point them in the right direction. You know, it would be very easy for me to say, dude, this video is fucking 2 years old, fuck off. You know, and I've come close. I won't lie to you. There are times when I'm like, do you not look at the date of the upload? You know, you know, there have been people that have been trolling my PS4 media player video because there's now a PS4 media player, and in that video I was bitching about there not being one. They're like, oh, dude, you know, there is one out there. Yes, I know that now, because it's now. It wasn't then. But I try to be nice about it. There are things that you should be doing to at least foster a positive environment. There's nothing positive to be gained from having a negative environment. Like, you gain nothing from that exchange. You get pissed, they get pissed, and then the comment section looks like a fucking war zone. There's no reason for it. None whatsoever. So my ask of you is, as a community, try your best to respect creators, and as a creator, do your best to respect the people consuming your product, whatever it may be. It's a small thing, but it goes a long way. And for those of you already practicing this, I thank you for blessing the internet with good vibes and positive tidings. The rest of you, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, keep on grinding. Politely, cheers.